You're over there. She was looking at me. The eye was coming this way, I tell
It
you.
was definitely me. It was like the picture of St. Bridget that was in our bedroom at home.
St. Bridget.
Was,
No,
no.
it's the Mona Lisa. She follows
not
you
the
everywhere
Mona
with her
Lisa. It
smile.
was definitely a holy picture.
It's a long time since you had a holy picture on your wall. This is Declan McChesney.
And this is Ron.
One S, not two S's. Well, how are you?
I'm very well, Ron. It's a pleasure to see you, as always. I'd love to get over and shoot the breeze with you.
You're very kind. It's nice to see you. And we have a bit of good news for a change. Danny Kennedy has signed the order and that we'll now get 5 hours of parking in Newry for £1.
I feel that it was really worth getting Danny into that corner and getting the finger in his face and saying to him, you've got to look after us at last. And I have to say, the brilliant thing actually about it all, to be completely serious, is Newry has the most amazing parking facilities now. We have Phase 1, which is completely free parking up on the North Street flats. And then you come down into the cathedral car parks and the rest of the car parks all around Newry, £1 for 5 hours.
Yeah.
Before you even have to entertain the short 40p parking on street. I mean, it's cheaper than chips.
It is. It's great. It's what you've been looking for a long time now.
Yeah.
And the gateway into Newry opens up. You can forget your car for 5 hours and go about your business.
Yeah.
How are you? I see we've had the first blossom and the first drop of blossom from the trees on the new promenade along the canal.
Saw that last night.
You're pleased
home.
about the way it's coming on. You wouldn't be part of the Neanderthal people who didn't want the cars to shift, would you?
Sorry, I'll just drag my hands along the ground on that one, Ron. Neanderthal I may be, but driving along, yes, I like the trees. Possibly would have liked it if they were pink cherry rather than white cherry, but you know that.
You've little to complain about.
No, I haven't finished yet. I'm only starting. You know, you go easy and then you go. I think there
that's
should
what
have
you did with Danny
easily.
Kennedy.
Yeah, I think there should have been, and this is my personal belief, some parking remaining on the quays. It's going to be a very empty plain in the near future. Everything looks lovely when the sun shines and the trees are blowing in the wind, but on the rainy days, you know, it's all lovely, but it needs people and it needs movement. And there should have been some parking left.
You'll have people coming. No parking there. That's a place of beauty that's been developed beautifully. People will perambulate along there and come over to you and then come back again. It'll be we're a very people. Motor cars don't buy stuff off you. People buy stuff off you. And now we've got parking for them. Other parking facilities will develop, and we'll preserve
Other parking
that.
facilities will develop.
I believe so. They have to do that. Oh, they can't ignore the car completely.
Well, certainly there was when the car parking spaces were being removed from the quay, a local businessman came up and offered to open I think it was a 35 or 40 space car park, and road service naysayed it on the grounds of egress, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, these people are there to be taken on and defeated.
Well,
You
that's how we got the pound.
That's how you got the pound. That's how you got city status in Newry. Things move forward because of the determination of the people. And you're one of the people who do it.
Ron, I have to say you're speaking with great foresight here, because I asked a local guy who does aerial photography to take a photograph of the free car park up on North Street, and have asked the minister, because this is a temporary car park, and if you take a look at that, there's at least 300 cars in a temporary car park in Newry.
And that's at one level.
Yeah, but it's only a temporary car park. That could go in 2 months.
Yeah.
What are our politicians, with their sense of responsibility, preparing for when that site goes?
Maybe that site will be developed into a multi-storey car park, which would do no harm.
Yeah, but maybe somebody will come up with, an entrepreneur will come up with another idea for it, and then the car parking spaces go.
Yeah.
You know,
It has to be addressed.
It's the duty.
Yeah.
It's the duty of politicians to prepare for the future, not to prepare for the next election.
Tell us now about the heart of Newry, the Cathedral Quarter. How strong are we at the moment? You have new buildings there. You have new businesses there, all going well.
Well, there. I think it's this week in the Reporter. There's a study coming out that in 2012 there were 30 empty shops in the Newry area. In 2013 there was 29, and this week there are 20, which is by my Christian Brothers maths, that's a 30% drop, you know. So
It's moving.
it's moving. And funny, I was listening to news on the BBC whenever you weren't on air, of course, and they were saying that vacancies across the UK and Northern Ireland, vacancies in shopping centres are 29%. Vacancies in town centres are 20% now, because there is a realisation that the cost of sales in shopping centres are very high. Footfall is not necessarily as high as it used to be, and therefore high streets are becoming much more economically viable.
But you still see it surely as a mixed economy of high street and shopping centres.
The great Louis Boyd stopped me one day at the very inception of the Keys shopping centre, or the Buttercrane in Newry. And he said, Declan, a rising tide lifts all boats.
Of course it does.
And Newry, with its maritime background, I can tell you, has been wonderfully lifted by two shopping centres coming to the heart of Newry.
Absolutely.
I have no problem with shopping centres.
And now a third. We have three. We have the Tesco in the northern outskirts of Newry.
Well, that actually isn't a shopping centre, it's a special.
That's a specialist, yes, of course, yeah, of course.
Bad news on the old Tesco figures today.
What was that? I thought they'd done
huge drop in Tesco profits. 6%
Really?
drop in Tesco
But
profits.
there have been drops in that area. There have been drops all around. But I mean, the Newry, I was talking to Stephen McGill out there. We did a programme from him last
yes,
week.
that's right, yeah.
And Stephen was expressing great happiness with the way the first year had gone. It always looks busy there.
Yeah, well, that's good. I'm delighted to hear it. I'm absolutely delighted to hear it.
You know, that's good. It's good.
Yeah.
No, we're well looked after. We just want the football,
we're well provided for.
The footfall to continue in both sectors, the shopping centre area and the traditionality of the town centre.
It's funny, I always remember certain things people say. I may not agree with them always politically, but they do say some things. And I remember Councillor Brendan Kern one time talking about a particular shop in Newry, and they say that we've got is a Newry version of this particular type of shop. But I have to say, when I travel around Northern Ireland, and as you know, my other job
And the
is travelling,
Republic,
and the Republic, that what the rest of Northern Ireland is a version of Newry. We're very lucky. People don't realise it, and I love to hear people criticise Newry, because I just laugh and think, if you only went to other places. I was in Coleraine the other day, which used to be a beacon of retail in Northern Ireland, and I always used to talk about this fantastic car park in the town centre. You can't get into it after 10 o'clock, so the place is being starved for footfall. You know?
You go south as well, as we said there.
You
have a good handle on the state of the economy in towns you pass through.
Yeah,
it can be quite depressing at times. The towns of the Republic
of
Ireland.
Very, very sad. Some of them, I actually, it makes me very sad to go into them. But I'm not going to name them, because no one deserves to be named as a bad town.
Course.
But I think that everybody once in their life should visit Kilkenny. It is the thriving town on the island of Ireland.
You selling in Kilkenny?
I've about 4 or 5 accounts.
Wow.
I'm very lucky. There's just so much of everything in Kilkenny, and they're a couple of years ahead of Newry, whereas Newry is a couple of years ahead of everybody else. But they have so many festivals. They have the cat laughs, they have the literary festivals, they have the reading festivals, they have music festivals, which is what we have here. We have powerful hotels, we have powerful arenas, and all we need is for the people with skill to organise festivals. I had a person from the Arts Collective in the shop the other day, and we were discussing how, like I see in, say, towns like Skibbereen and Clonakilty and all that, is all the empty shops with the local artists showing in the windows. What's not to have that going on in Newry?
Well, we're running out of windows to do it in Hill Street.
Well, there'll still be one or two there.
Yeah, which is a good.
And funny, I've offered to do, to the Arts Collective, is I'll do exhibitions in my shop.
Of course.
You know, living art, so there's a you know, a rollover. between the different.
It all sounds good. The Republic of Ireland, are they staying away from us in increasing numbers, or is that levelled off?
Well, that's levelled off.
We're
That's
okay.
levelled off. Yeah.
They're still coming.
They're very much so still coming. I mean, it has to be said, there are still quite a few items in the basket that are a very good buy up here, you know.
Okay.
And the canny ones, no. I mean, okay, the huge herd has gone for a while, but that's always been the pendulum that swings north and south, you know.
You have magnificent variety in your merchandise, your shoes. How does a man like you, where do you go to get all of this? What's the where do you go? What's the process of filling your shop with this tessellated magnificence of diamonds on the soles of the shoes almost?
Well, actually, it's very funny, Rowan, because I'm 40 years in the shoe business in January of this year. And funny, the day it happened, I said, I still don't know what I'm going to do when I grow up. But my father just came into me one day. I'd recently come home from Dublin and was working in the men's shop in Cahill Brothers, and came into me in his typical gruff Cavan way and says, get into the shoe shop. And all of a sudden I was in the shoe business. And I had absolutely no idea of the shoe business. And Cahill Brothers was famous to the good farming man who came in and he bought a pair of Alwelly boots and a pair of Daler boots and a pair of leather laces and a tin of polish. And he would take out a chunk of money and hand it to us, you know. And we, that was for years, but I thought, no, I'm not happy with this. And I remember going to Mass one Sunday. I was a good boy. And there was this beautiful demure lady went up to communion. And I still see her.
Your label on the sole of the shoe.
In my, no, I see her in my mind's eye. And I thought, I'm going to buy shoes for that lady.
Yeah.
And I went out and I started buying shoes for that lady.
That was your
it. And do you know, it's
focus.
only about 5 years ago she was in with me and I told her.
You told her the story?
Yeah.
And did she say to you, what was wrong with my shoes that you felt you had to replace them?
No,
They were
it
so
wasn't her
beautiful, you
shoes.
wanted to...
Everything about it was so beautiful.
Lovely.
Yeah, local lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now you're asking me how do I do it? Well, I go to London twice a year, Birmingham twice a year, Dusseldorf twice a year, and Milan twice a year.
You're certainly away once a month.
Yeah,
for the 12 months.
That's only to see the big shows. And I then go and I visit factories in Elche in Spain and Alicante in northern Spain, in near Pisa in Italy. I've been to Ancona in eastern Italy. I just go looking for manufacturers that will do what I want. And last 6 months ago, I found myself on the banks of the Douro River in Portugal.
Goodness gracious.
In Oporto, and went to a little factory which would be, to people who know Newry, it would be like going up the Refriland Road out towards Hilltown and turning off a side road and going up to like a big garage warehouse and a company there, 50 years making shoes.
Yeah.
Brand Sofia Costa, named after the daughter of the owner, who is now the owner. And I loved the stuff so much, I took it on into my agency business. I have it in my shop, and I just was counting yesterday and opened 25 new accounts in Ireland in one season. The stuff is just so beautiful.
Yeah. And of course, in these wonderfully romantic and colourful places that you visit, you're racing through them so fast, you don't have an opportunity even to go out to a beautiful little taverna of an evening, have some tapas or a nice meal there of Italian, Mediterranean flavour. You never get a chance to do any of that, I suppose.
Is there somebody else in this room, or are you talking to me? as I was sitting, well, two stories. I was sitting at 6 a.m. one morning at Dublin Airport with a bunch of shoe agents, and we'd all been up at 4 o'clock, and we were there waiting to board the plane to Dusseldorf. And one guy says, "See, if I win the lottery, I'll not be doing this again." And another one of the guys said, "What am I going to do if I don't win the lottery?" But the other side is that I remember sitting one night at midnight in the area of Milan, just behind the main square where the Duomo, the beautiful cathedral, is,
Yes.
just round the corner from Scala Milano, outside a restaurant with a bunch of people that were from Greystones, they were from Dublin, they were from Cork, they were from Belfast, Newton Ards, and myself. And we just ordered another bottle of wine. And I said, I wonder, do the people of Newry know
What you're going
what
through
I'm
for
going
them?
through for them? Which, it was great going through it, I tell you, at 12 or
But I
1
mean,
o'clock in the
you-
morning, but you have to be up at
yeah.
7 o'clock to go to the fair.
Oh,
And I
yeah,
was really going
absolutely.
through it.
But I
know.
mean, you've made it your own. You can sell shoes, and sell shoes. But you're the Willy Wonka of the shoe industry, so to speak. You're so joyfully immersed in the whole thing.
Well, I love people. And funny, there comes a crucial time in your 50s, which if I ever reach that, of course, like yourself, Rowan.
Well, 70's the new 50, so I'm
well,
50
okay.
now, I
Yeah,
tell you.
well, I'm nearly 50 then. But you either love people or they drive you nuts.
Yeah.
And I love people. And I think I'm hardwired never to feel disappointment. And I get to meet fantastic people. I mean, sit me here at 5 o'clock in the morning and come and collect me in a week, and I'll still be talking about some of the wonderful people that
Yeah,
have walked through
yeah.
the door of my shop.
Yeah.
Great. There's the odd bad person.
Oh, yeah.
But I suppose the older you get, the easier to say, stop.
Yeah.
You're too negative.
Oh, absolutely. Go
You know?
away.
Yeah.
You don't have time for nonsense. You
That's
tell
what
people
solicitors
go.
are made for.
Well, tell me about the in the shop, as the people who come all the time, they come back and back. Are you using the internet to sell on?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We
Have you a catalogue? Have you a site that people
we
can
have
see?
a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And I have a new young lady working for me, Roisin Cowan, and absolutely another string to our bow. Another lovely girl has come to work for us, came recommended, and she's so sweet, so nice, so honest, so kind, but she's brilliant at tech, and she looks after my Facebook page for me, which we
Lovely.
change every day, and every so often we run competitions, like at the minute, and we find the people are coming on in their hundreds, and we're up in the thousands now on our Facebook page, and we use that. You have to use that. You're not going to be there. The sort of stuff that we sell has to be on the net because it's up against the, how would I say, the international.
Yeah.
You know, we're not just selling for the Newry market. We're selling all over. I mean, with my agency business, which of all my agency shoes are in my shop, and yet the selection that I offer around the island of Ireland, it's in every major shoe shop in the island of Ireland, from Grafton Street in Dublin, Patrick Street in Cork, O'Connell Street in Limerick, Shop Street in Galway. They're all doing my shoes because we can offer what nobody else can.
God bless you.
God
And
bless
keep,
you, Ron.
Keep doing it.
Lovely
Take
to
care.
see you
All the
again.
best to you. Music, Andrew, please.